You're on the Sci-Fi Channel. Here's what's next.
After launching Mars probes, peering into the galaxies and discovering black holes, quasars, and supernovas, we have finally found the heart of science fiction. Sci-Fi Entertainment Magazine. Your pulse will quicken with never-before-seen looks at heart-stopping movies. The hottest TV shows, plus eye-popping books and videos, even a complete interplanetary guide. Sci-Fi Entertainment doesn't skirt the boundaries of the imagination. You will have the heart of science fiction in your hands when you subscribe now. You'll get a year's subscription for just $19.95 by calling 1-800-77-SCI-FI. That's 9 issues, all for a price that won't grade you. Yes, it is shockingly low. But that's all a subscription to Sci-Fi Entertainment Magazine costs. If you want to get to the heart of everything, from a Terminator's attitude to a monster's appetite, take a stab at Sci-Fi Entertainment. Call 1-800-77-SCI-FI to subscribe. Once you do, you'll never miss a beat.
Hi, I'm Scott Bakula, and you're watching the Sci-Fi Channel. Hi there, I'm Phil in Toronto, searching for evil, any evil in Canada. You know, since the beginning of time, people have been infatuated with monsters and the concept of evil. Our generation has had our own evil, malicious creature.
I'm Nick at the Jekyll and Hyde Club in New York City. Monsters and evil are topics people keep coming back to, and the comic world is no exception.
We've got vampires, serial killers, paranormal investigators, and all sorts of scary things.
Wow, that's great, Nick. Now we know why you're in television. But that's why we called in a veteran for this episode, a woman that needs no introduction, Elvira.
Yours truly, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. It's me, monsters, and evil, this week on the Anti-Gravity Road. What would you do if your world was being controlled by Orwellian robots who were brainwashing your youth and destroying everything you loved? Why not break into a graveyard and throw on some bandages and giant boots with mirrors on the bottom? Makes perfect sense to me. Oh, foot soldiers, just watch.
Okay, I'm here with Jim Kruger, creator and writer of Foot Soldiers. Jim, can you tell us a little about the backstory of Foot Soldiers?
Yeah, the backstory has to do with what I was seeing in the comics field a lot. You know, you had some of the classic characters doing things they swore they never would. You know, you'd have heroes killing and that sort of thing, and I thought, wow, that sense of heroism is really dead, and that got me thinking about there being a graveyard where all the heroes were buried. The Foot Soldiers begins where 3 kids go to the graveyard of forgotten heroes and rob the graves, literally filling the shoes of the original heroes, and then they try to bring some sort of, you know, justice back to this totally fallen world. Johnny Stomp with his giant boots and the mirrored bottoms. I love the idea that the last thing a bad guy is going to see is his own frightened image coming right down on top of him as he's getting ready to be stomped.
Jim, I've heard you base villains on what really scares you. Can you tell us a little about the villains of Foot Soldiers?
I get really afraid of things that are over here that I don't really know what they are. And so the Peripheral Man is a case in which he's this guy who, like, stands in the corner of the eye and hides in plain sight. And as soon as you see someone over here, immediately you turn, and then he's gone because you're looking at him straight on. And the second villain in the second issue is the Travesty Tapestry, and she's got this giant tapestry that she's able to, you know, make wind around people, and when it's wound around a person, their hidden fears show on the outside of the tapestry for, like, the whole world to see.
So what is it you think that draws people to evil?
Well, you know, it's like, I think there's something dark and terrible inside each one of us, and so we're attracted to it because it reflects something about us. We like to see the dark stuff, and then we like to see a hero, you know, overcome it so that we're not overcome by, you know, those things inside of us that make us want to do things that we know we shouldn't.
Jim Kruger, Foot Soldiers, and more. Check him out. I have to admit, I was reluctant to pick up the book at first, but after reading the first few pages of Vampirella, I realized she's more than just a scantily clad woman with big breasts and large hair. We talked to the creators of Vampirella to see what they had to say. Okay, we've successfully caged every person who's ever worked on Vampirella. Guys, can you intro yourselves?
Yeah, Tex, painter.
Jimmy Palmiotti, anchor.
Amanda Connor, penciler.
Ray Lago, painter.
All right, guys, I've got a tasty treat for you if you're good. Your editor, Dave Bogart. Okay, Amanda, can you tell me about the story of Vampirella?
Okay, as you know, Vampirella is dead.
Okay.
But she's come back to life in this town, and it's overrun with vampires. So what she has to do is figure out where she's came from, where she's going to, and how to deal with all the vampires.
All right, Tex, what about the characters?
Yeah, Nix, she's evil incarnate. Emma, she's covered in blood. Panther, she's the queen of cats, which I'm working on with Mark Millard due in February. Wish me luck.
All right. Jimmy, what about the appeal of Vampirella?
Definitely two things. One would be the costume, in case you never noticed.
I didn't, but
Gotta get out more often. And the other thing is that she's a vampire. Everybody thinks vampires.
What separates Vampirella from other vampires?
Well, for one thing, she's from another planet, which adds that classic science fiction element. And on top of that, she's gorgeous and nice, sweet, a cute vampire.
Gotta love that. Okay, if you guys could draw a story by any writer for Vampirella, what would it be?
I think mine would be Garth Ennis, because he's got a real macabre sense of humor.
Yeah, Frank Miller, just because of cinematography, yeah.
Quentin Tarantino, because, hey, why not?
Kurt Busiek, he knows how to treat classic characters.
Who draws the best Vampirella?
Frank Zazza.
You guys been good, so you get your treat. That's all from Harris.
This just in. Coming this fall, the newest Elvira adventure, Elvira, Transylvania 90210, where the Mistress of the Dark meets a new blood-sucking neighbor. New from Dark Horse, the second Mad Men bubblegum card set, drawn by Frank Frazetta, Eric Larson, Dave Gibbons, Brian Bolland, and many more. Batman, The Long Halloween, a 13-issue series by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, starts this month, featuring favorites like Catwoman, the Joker, the Riddler, and Harvey Dent.
This Sci-Fi Channel program is brought to you by Boost Nutritional Energy Drink. Boost, for life in the real world.
Is this how you start your day? It's okay. Need a little pick-me-up? Aw. Look, perfect nutrition is for perfect people. Then we don't know any. That's why there's Boost, the delicious shake that's got 25 vitamins and minerals, with carbohydrates and protein instead of caffeine, for real energy that lasts. So if your day isn't 100% nutritious, maybe it's time for a Boost. Boost, the perfect snack for imperfect people.
We both have colds. Why is he up and at him? And I'm so tired and cranky and headachy, I can't even get started. Why? Because last night when he said,
let's take NyQuil so we can have a good morning.
I said, why? What's the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, achy, stuffy head fever, so you can rest medicine got to do with morning, silly? He took it. I took these. He got rest. I didn't. Why?
Vicks NyQuil. It's also the bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, fully rested, so take it at night and have a good morning medicine.
You're not with AT&T, are you?
No, I'm not.
So, are you happy?
Not really.
I was happier with AT&T. Well, we're making it simple to come back. How'd you like to get 100 free minutes just for switching to AT&T? That would be wonderful.
That's a real gift.
Well, there's a lot more. Introducing the new AT&T one-rate plan. Just 15 cents a minute on calls from home to anybody, anytime, anywhere in America.
That's great. It's a flat rate, anytime, anybody, anywhere. I'm going to presume there's going to be a charge involved.
No, it's free.
It's even better.
No fees, no minimum spending, no time requirements, no restrictions, no games.
You can't beat that.
Call 1-800-YES-2-ATT. You'll get one low rate plus 100 free minutes for switching to AT&T. So what do you think?
I think the 100 free minutes is awesome.
The one-rate plan is excellent. There's no restrictions, no limits.
So what are you going to do?
Pick up the phone and switch to AT&T.
One rate, 100 minutes. Call 1-800-YES-2-ATT to switch.
Raritan, New Jersey, usually exciting by itself, but today it's particularly special because today is the debut of the Nintendo 64. We've got Team Nintendo here to show us around. The mayor of Raritan, New Jersey, to declare it Mario Day. Hey, how much better can you get? It's a national holiday. It's him! It's him! Oh my God! Ah! Yes! You are the man! We're here with the man, Mario. Mario, let me tell you what an honor it is. I love you, man. We're here at the Toys R Us 2000 with Alan from Team Nintendo. Alan, tell me a little about this Mario game. It's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's the first time that Mario's actually been in 3D. When you're controlling Mario in Mario 64, it's like being a character in a computer-generated movie, and you can go anywhere you want.
It's me, Mario.
Nintendo 64. Check it out.
Now, when you think of evil, you think of white zombie, just like I do, right? And you know the good thing about the bands that appear on this show? They don't use this segment for blatant self-promotion. They use it because they have a vested interest in comics. They care, just like I do.
Okay, I'm here with Rob Zombie of White Zombie. Now, I know you're a comic fan. Can you tell us a little about that?
You know, I always collected comics ever since before I could read them for the last 20 years, and, yeah, I still buy them constantly. I never read them. If I see art I like, I buy it to have it, but, you know, I won't, like, you know, it's all... I feel it's just there to rip off the kids. There was a time where it was cool, but now everything's got, 900 parts crossed over into a million titles you don't want to buy, and all these rip-off covers. Well, I collected all Marvel stuff, so, you know, at the height of Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Hulk, Howard the Duck, whatever, that whole 70s time. But I still collect everything till now, but the passion's gone.
Now, I noticed you've got some body art going. You got any comic characters on you? Places that you can show?
No, I don't.
Oh, it's mainly just women.
I didn't want a lawsuit on my hands.
Ah, that's a good point.
You stick a Mickey Mouse on, you're in jail, buddy.
Rob, I know you were working on a comic for a while for Marvel. Can you tell us a little about that?
Yeah, I was working on a comic. It was like an anthology thing with a bunch of different stories, and it was basically an excuse for me to work with all the artists that I always liked. And just did some stories. Did one with Gene Colan. He did a story that was great where it had he drew Howard the Duck into the story and Dracula and all the stuff that he does great. I never really got that far. It just seemed like a weird place.
Ah, it's true.
Alan Moore is one of comicdom's greatest writers. He also looks like a Hell's Angel. But the Hell's Angel thing really has nothing to do with From Hell, Alan's story of one of the world's most malicious serial killers, Jack the Ripper.
From Hell grew out of my desire to actually see if I could handle a murder in comic strip terms, because it struck me that a murder was a complex human event that had a lot of different threads running out from it that might be interesting. It took me a long while to decide which murder. I went through an awful lot of different possibilities, none of which had quite the mythic aspects that I was looking for. And then finally I started reading a couple of books upon Jack the Ripper and realized that there was a huge amount of stuff that had not been touched upon. All of the Ripper books had basically come at it from the same angle as a whodunit. which is a pretty stupid question, really. I mean, like, the bodies have all been cold for 100 years now. We are never going to know who did it. That is the simple truth. It's more interesting to me not to bother with that aspect of it, but to try and explore not so much who done it as what happened. To try and follow out the threads that connected with the murders, all of the social implications, the mythological implications, the famous people, the Victorian celebrities who, however tenuously, were connected with this strange dark vortex that sprung up in the middle of Whitechapel. And like I say, with From Hell, the research was sprawling. It wasn't just to do with murder, it was to do with architecture, it was to do with London, it was to do with legend and history. What I did with From Hell was to try and take all of the facts, or factoids, things that people said had happened, but, well, you're not sure whether they did. All the legends, all the rumours, and try to fit as many of those into a coherent picture as I could. Of all of the murderers, he is in a special category, because he was never caught, he was never given a human dimension. Jack the Ripper is just this fictitious black figure with the Gladstone bag, the top hat. He has escaped completely into legend. He is almost like the patron saint of serial killers. He was the first one that we identified as such. And if you hear the testimonies of his later disciples, if you will, the Boston Stranglers, the various other serial murderers, they all seem to quote Jack the Ripper. He's a kind of touchstone. He is the Wright brothers he's the Elvis of serial murder.
Oops. Concrete and Challengers of the Unknown, and the entire cast of Independence Day wrestle the cast of First Wives Club to see which movie was worse. Up next.
When it hurts so much you can hardly swallow ordinary food, get Vicks Chloraseptic Spray. It numbs sore throat pain on contact with a powerful anesthetic for fast, effective relief. Vicks Chloraseptic Spray quickly numbs the pain away. Now there's a fat-free snack with all the crunch of popcorn, but you won't believe it.
Get out of here.
All the rich flavor of toffee, but you won't believe it.
No way.
Because it's completely, wholly, utterly, without a doubt, fat-free.
Yeah, right.
New fat-free Crunch and Munch.
You better believe it.
The Pontiac Firebird waits. 305 horsepower comes to life. Ram air induction turns air into fuel in a rush. Firebird, you're ready to fly.
Watch. You're about to go on the internet. Quickly, simply, reliably. With AT&T WorldNet service. With a few clicks, you're planning an African safari. Or going there right in your computer. Look interesting? Then imagine having a whole year to try AT&T WorldNet service free.
Call now. If you're an AT&T long-distance customer, you'll get your first 5 hours a month free.
You can explore, email friends, shop, manage money, follow news, sports, and more. You can even choose unlimited internet access for just $19.95 a month. Call now for free AT&T WorldNet service software. You'll enjoy 24-hour customer support and, of course, AT&T reliability.
So, for your free trial offer of AT&T WorldNet service, call now.
AT&T WorldNet service. We're making internet access easy for everyone.
Nick told me I could handle Comicopia this week because he was off somewhere dyeing his hair. But, you know, I don't really have anything to, wait a minute. As luck would have it, I've brought along just 1 or 2 comics to review. And guess what? They're all about me. Oh, my gosh, where to begin? The internationally award-winning comic Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, is published by the ever-dynamic Claypool Comics. Claypool has published 40 astoundingly good, incredibly hilarious comics, including storylines like Rhubarb the Radioactive Reindeer, Married to the Syndicate, And who could forget the ever-popular Night of the Fruity Faces? The behind-the-scenes talent that makes this comic book the masterpiece that it is includes such names as Kurt Busiek, Mark Evanier, and triple Emmy Award winner Paul Dini. Well, I find absolutely nothing bad to say about these comics. Therefore, I give them 5 out of 5 Gs on the anti-gravity scale. Well, that's about it for Comicopia. Nick will be back next week with hair that'll burn your retinas out. Until then, unpleasant dreams.
To find the comic store in your neighborhood, call Comic Locator at 1-888-266-4226. That number again is 1-888-266-4226.
The Challengers of the Unknown are a group of people who fight off supernatural phenomenon. They did make it in time to stop the movie Phenomenon from being made, though. But no one's perfect. Mr. Carter, I can't believe it. I swear to God, yeah.
Challengers of the Unknown
is about 4 individuals who have seen the beyond and brought something back with them. Soon they will feel compelled to not only seek the beyond, but challenge it, to challenge the unknown, and the truth may kill them.
What's the future for the Challengers?
The future for the Challengers is dark and unknown and frightening. I can guarantee that.
Book of Fate.
Book of Fate is about Jared Stevens, who has been enlisted as the repairman to reality. The warranty on Earth has run out, and if something goes wrong, he's the man you call. He will do it for a price.
Scare Tactics.
Scare Tactics is about 4 very young boys and girls, one of whom is a vampire, another a werewolf, another one mutated by a fallen meteorite, and another one whose genetic experiments by his father have turned him into a living snake. Each one of them is trying to find their way in life, but frankly, they're all quite disgusting and can't really walk in the light of day. Their only recourse to hide from society is to pretend that they are a musical group so that no one questions their freakish appearance.
Night Force.
Night Force is about any individual, could be you, could be anyone walking down the street who is suddenly enlisted into a war between heaven and hell by the enigmatic Baron Winters. He lives in a house where he can only leave by the back door, but the back door never leads to our time or our reality.
How do these 4 books connect?
It is a shadowy, unseen portion of the DC universe that we have not visited in quite some time. Things that Superman and Batman may not notice may affect you quite dearly.
What's the future for this universe?
Only the orb of the weird can predict, but I can safely say that it will be somewhere where no human has gone before.
We'll be waiting.
Good.
You know, not all monsters are evil. Why, some are really downright decent and humane. Take Concrete by Dark Horse Comics, for example. Sure, he's a 12-foot man. He's got the power to tear bones, rip flesh, burst organs. But all he really wants is to be loved. Oh, and a chance to direct.
Okay, it's beautiful San Diego, and I'm here with Paul Chadwick. Paul, how do you do?
Howdy.
So tell me about Concrete.
Well, he's a 1,200-pound, rock-coated guy who wants to be a travel writer.
So where did you get the idea for Concrete?
Well, this is pretty Freudian, but I was lying in bed one night. I've always liked a lot of heavy covers on me. And, you know, it's my version of returning to the womb. But I used to imagine myself buried in rubble. And I guess on some level I knew that would hurt. So it evolved into being coated with rock. And I guess the next step was wondering what a rock-coated person would do with his life. And asking and answering the next question is where Concrete came from.
Now, why did you decide to write a story with the environmental thing?
For Think Like a Mountain. Back in 1990, Mike Richardson told me about the big Earth Day 1990 hoopla that was brewing. And for the first time in my life, I really researched the issue. And I learned about Earth First and the radical edge of the environmental movement. And I thought, what if this very work within the system, pacifist guy got involved with these help for leather radicals?
Is it important for you to write about things you believe in?
Well, I'm a lot like Concrete, and I'm not a really passionate person, but as I research these things, that passion grows. So it's really the writing that creates the belief more than the belief that starts the writing.
So when you first started out, did you think you'd come this far?
No, I had a 5-year plan. I was going to do comics as a young man because it's a young man's profession, and then freelance paperback covers out of New York. And here, 12 years later, comics have snared me.
Nick does an interpretive dance number to the tune of Pat Benatar's biggest hit. And we read the viewer mail next.
See the most incredible coming attractions in cinematic history. Trailer Park, only on the Sci-Fi Channel. Today at 1:30 p.m. Eastern.
It's time to declare war against mildew. Introducing professional strength Tilex Mildew Stain Remover. More powerful than any other mildew stain remover, it blasts away horrendous mildew stains in less than 30 seconds. Get the most powerful mildew stain remover ever made. New professional strength Tilex.
He was brilliant.
Novelin, this is Bob Howard. Bob's the greatest pulp writer in the whole world.
She was fascinated.
Don't forget faces. All women's figures.
Now that is a man.
Sony Pictures Classics presents Vincent D'Onofrio, Renee Zellweger.
I believe in you, Bob.
The true story of true love. The whole wide world.
Now playing select cities.
What you think?
Oh, no. Nice.
What the Bravada thinks.
Decrease coefficient of friction, divert torque to adjust wheel velocities.
With its exclusive Smart Track system, the Bravada automatically reacts to changing road conditions. So with no buttons to push or levers to pull, you can let it do the thinking.
Oh, no. Marbles?
Sightings, all new shows, exclusively on the Sci-Fi Channel.
2 p.m. Eastern, Sci-Fi Sunday.
Around the rosy, got a pocket full of posies. Hush, hush, we all fall down.
Tried Axid AR yet? It's the only one that says right on its labeling it can prevent heartburn completely. That's something Tagamet HB200, Zantac 75, and Pepsid AC just don't claim. Axid AR, proven it can prevent heartburn completely.
This morning, a school bus driver needs real coffee. Folgers Coffee Singles. Real mountain-grown coffee in a real coffee filter for one freshly brewed cup.
There's no school today.
Folgers Coffee Singles, because real coffee makes real good mornings.
M. Lucius writes, I saw your reviews of Superman and Hulk cartoons and enjoyed it. I'm taping them for my collection. Well, Lucius, I hope you realize that you need the express written consent of the producer of the show as well as the network that it was broadcast on in order to make copies of it. We have alerted the FBI of your whereabouts, and they are currently en route to your house. Remain calm and hey, keep watching.
Nikki wants to know what happened to Sailor Moon. Why isn't she on TV anymore?
Well, Nikki, it appears that Sailor Moon was, in fact, a communist. She defected to the former Soviet Union, where she'll be promoted to full colonel in the new secret police. There she'll have a new show, Sailor Minsk.
She is a pinko.
You can write to us at the Anti-Gravity Room, care of YTV Canada Inc., Station C, Toronto, Canada, M6J 3N1. Or you can email us at antigravity@ytv.ca. Don't forget to check us out on the World Wide Web at www.antigrav.com. Pretty frightening stuff, huh? If we had more time, we'd show you all that footage of Bigfoot and shots of an actual exorcism. Maybe next time.
No way, that purple thing at the opening was scary enough for me. Man, that thing is creepy.
What are you talking about, Nick? I think he's so cute.
Thanks for watching. See you next time on the Anti-Gravity Room. And until then, unpleasant dreams.
Trapped in space, a daring team of adventurers will stop at nothing to complete their mission, the creation of spontaneous laughter. Join Crow, Tom Servo, and the crew of the Satellite of Love for a brand new season of Mystery Science Theater 3000, premiering today at 4 and 11 p.m. Eastern. And later, a medical breakthrough renders an innocent scientist completely transparent. Now he's turned his own misfortune into a weapon against villainy. Invisible, the Chronicles of Benjamin Knight, just one of the astonishing tales you'll witness in the dimension of imagination. Tonight, beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern. Now, stay tuned for The Odyssey, Sci-Fi Channel next.
This is the Inside Space Report for Saturday, February 1st, 1997. A final space lesson from Mir astronaut John Blaha.
We've learned a lot about how to do an exercise program in space. I've been very impressed with what I've seen the Russians have developed over the past 18 years on 2 space stations, which they have had, the Salyut and the Mir. And I've taken part in that, and I've already seen the results of it, and I think it's fantastic. So we've got a real leg up on that.
Jerry Lininger has replaced Blaha for another 4.5-month stay on Mir. With the Inside Space Report, I'm Jeff Fox. Watch Inside Space right here on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Is looking for you.